Yeah, people, from me see the face, from me see the brimat and the setting, it is the 4th edition of Ball and Grass. Yeah, people, so before we get into today's video, I'd just like to say a big shout out and thanks to UWI Faculty of Sport through their Mona Academy for allowing us to use their beautiful premises here at the Mona campus where superstars are made. So hey people, last time we spoke a good while ago, a lot has happened in local sport, especially in local football. The JPL came to its conclusion in a very thrilling penalty shootout. Cavalier came out on top against Waterhouse. Congrats to Cavalier and that team. Congrats to Rudolph Speed, David Layla and all coaching staff involved. I'm very happy and very pleased to see a team like Cavalier, a team that has believed in youth, pushing out players like Jadine White, Ronaldo Webster, Richard King, who recently got called to the national team. Jadine White, who also replaced Dennis Taylor in the national team currently right now. So I'm just extremely happy and proud to see that youth have once again showed that they are the future and that they can play some good progressive football. And hats off to all the coaching staff there at Cavalier, people. Say people, there have been a lot of gems who came to the forefront in the recently concluded Jamaica Premier League season. We spoke about Devontae Campbell on our last episode, that young man out of Mount Pleasant. They also gave a debut to the son of Devon Hodges. For those who know, Devon Hodges was a very influential player rivally back in the day, people. There are just a lot of positives to come out of our local competition this year, and hats off to all the sponsors and the stakeholders who made it possible. Now, I was a bit disappointed with a couple teams in the league this year, i.e. Portmore United. They failed to make the playoffs. Ricardo Bibigana left his stint as the head coach in the middle of the season, and I was just really disappointed with their team. They had a lot of very good players on paper, players like Demar Rose, Shavani Willis, Ricardo Morris, players like that, and I just was not quite impressed with how they played, and they didn't make the playoffs. Outside of that, you had teams that really impressed me, even though they didn't make the playoffs, like Mullines United. Nicholas Nelson played well for them. It seemed like a constant goal scoring threat for them. And we'll also like to send our best of luck to Fakibi Farkiston, who is now playing his trade overseas in Europe on a 1-year loan deal. So it's like to, continue to just work on our local football, continue to support them. Keith Wellington recently came out and said that the local football, the schoolboy football, my apologies, is going to be in a 2-part season, resuming in 2022. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the youngsters get back out there and playing some good constructive football. And on to the most pressing news. It seems as if the Federation has given Theodore Tappa Whitmore an ultimatum, in which I personally am not a fan of. I believe that the coach has started the campaign. He should finish the campaign regardless of what is going on, regardless of results and any mishaps that have happened along the way. But people, as Jamaicans would say, Lipo a fate always. I've been speaking very highly of this squad, speaking very highly of the players in this team, and it hasn't seemed to click. The inconsistency in starting lineups, availability of players, that has also been a huge factor in us not picking up any points. But it's bigger than player selection. I'm not seeing a fight in Reggae Boyz. I'm not seeing any sort of cohesion in the players who are essential in that team. And that 2-0 loss against USA, it showed it. There was just nothing to add. It was just disjointed, and another poor performance under Tappa's leadership, and it really isn't looking good for Tappa. Conversely, you guys know how much how strongly we feel about youth football here and off the Brunswick, especially Ball and Grass. Ricardo Pepi scoring a brace against Jamaica. As we've said before, the USA, they have a conveyor belt of young talent, starting from Josh Sargent, players like that, Timothy Weah. All of these young players play their football in the US and they're exported to Europe. Different facilities first world country. You know, they have the facilities, the assets to do these things, but it's all about the youth development here, people. And if you ask me, we do have players that are as talented and are as gifted as those USA players. However, we're not going to ramble on about that. We have our second game in the qualifying window against Canada, which we have played already. I'm not going to make any comments about that, people, because I can't predict the future. But as you can see by the demeanor, people, I'm extremely heartbroken. I'm hurt. It's not a very good time to be a Reggae Boyz fan. But Arteta is manager of the month, people. You don't know, I'm going to leave that for afterwards. But as always, people, thanks for supporting. You know, we're loving all the support. You know, the first giveaway, you're going to see it on the page. There are many more giveaways to come. Another young, talented footballer, Jaime Nelson, you know, got the Ajax jersey. So people, just thanks again. Continue to like, share, subscribe. And as always, I'm out.